Tuenda kwa Alfred Mutua. Alfred Mutua tuliona wakizurura na wakirandaranda Kenya mzima, wakisema kuwa government ita protect wale watu wenye wanaenda kufanya kazi kwa hizo nchi za Kiarabuni. And we know very well hizo nchi za Kiarabu zinaletanga agents wao hapa Kenya, wanapea agents wao pesa ndio wanaweza kuchukua wasichana wanaenda kufanya kazi huko ng'ambo. Tumeona watu wakisema ati saa hizi wao wasichana wenye wako ng'ambo wanafaa kujilipia transport, ili hali saa zenye walikuwa hapa Kenya waliambiwa wamelipia transport ya kwenda ng'ambo na transport ya kurudi Kenya. And that's why wakienda kwa hizo nchi za Uarabu wananyang'anyangwa passport, so that hiyo contract yao ya 2 years ama 3 years ikiisha unarudishwa passport yako. Nimeongea na wasichana kadhaa wakaniambia hadi saa hizi venye tu hii vita inaendelea bado passport zao zimeholdiwa na hawajaweza kurudishiwa. Nikiendelea, tumeona Kenya Airways rather than kupunguza bei ya transport ama flight ya kutoka hizo nchi za Kiarabu, wame double prices. Zile nchi zingine zenye ziko na zenye ziko na citizens wao nchi za Kiarabu wamepunguza flight na wame make mechanism za ku make sure citizens wao wako kwa countries zao. Ile kitu yenye inanishangaza saa hizi, rather than Kenya ijaribu venye itaweza kurudisha citizens wao Kenya, wao wana organize na watu wa Kenya Airways wanapandisha bei. Nyinyi mnataka Wakenya wetu 500,000 wakufia huko juu ama mnataka tukue na wao? Mimi naomba President William Samoei Ruto, tumeona ukizunguka ukilaunch hizo project zako za housing, tunakuomba chukua simiti peke yake, usinunue simiti for the next like 1 week. Hiyo pesa yenye unategemea kununua simiti, tuma ndege huko hizo nchi za Kiarabu zituletee Wakenya wetu wakiwa hai. Tumekuwa na relatives wetu, vijana wenzetu na wamama wanalia, and that's why hatuko nao kwa hii press, kwa sababu tumeacha pale chini wakilia, tukaona hakuna haja wa address the nation na machozi. Lakini tunataka kusema hivi, tumepatia Mutua 72 hours. Kama hautatuambia venye Wakenya wetu tutawapata hapa, venye mliwatoa Kenya ndivyo tunawataka. Na saa hizi hakuna Mkenya hata mmoja mwenye amekufa, wote wako hai. Tunawaongelesha na tunajua mahali wapo, wote wako hai. Tunawapea 72 hours. Kama hamtatupatia Wakenya wetu venye wako wakiwa hai, kama hamtatuambia zile mechanism zenye mnataka kutumia kuturudishia Wakenya wetu hapa Kenya, itabidi after that 72 hours tuende kwa ofisi ya Mutua tuulizane maswali tukionana unyo kwa unyo. Asanteni sana. Mungu abariki Kenya na Mungu abariki wote. Una swali?
My name is Makolonde Charles. I'm in charge of research and policy, Mtetezi. And before I address the next issue, because we also know there's an issue with Nairobi County and what happened yesterday and what has been happening, I just want to add something on what is happening in the Gulf. I saw a notice by IMF saying that Kenya isn't very clear on the kind of mitigation measures that we have put in place, because we know that we have G2G, and this thing was an idea by the president himself, and it was to stabilize the dollar. Now in a place where the person who is supplying us with oil is in a war, we need to know. I saw a press statement by the Minister of Energy saying that we are secure. But how secure are we? How much oil do we have in stock? We need that breakdown. How much are we using in a month? How many million metric tons of diesel, petrol, and kerosene are we using in a month? And how much do we have in stock? So that we know we are secure for how long. And do we have any alternative in case the war prolongs? Because you can't say the war will go for a week or a month. And lastly, this goes to our exports. We know that Kenya, we export most of our agricultural goods to the Middle East. And Iran and Pakistan are the biggest importers of our tea. Now that they are in war, do we have an alternative? I haven't seen any communication by the Minister of Agriculture or the relevant, even the Tea Board of Kenya, addressing that issue. Or majani chai zetu zitaanza kuozea Mombasa, then tukose the revenue, all of a sudden dola tena ianze, energy pia mafuta bei pande, kidogo kidogo, we in economic crisis. This is just a warning bell. We are just asking the government, please, don't act like nothing is happening. Then when after something has happened, now we start rushing around. We already, Kenyans are already in a tough economic situation. Ikiendelea hivi, we'll be deeper mess. So for that matter, our address is to the President and the relevant ministry, all of them. We demand they form a multi-sectoral team so that this issue can be addressed and Kenyans can get the information and our people in the Middle East can be brought back safely. Please bring them kama wamekaa juu ya ndege, si huko chini wakiwa maiti. Thank you.
Leaving citizens exposed in a conflict zone. Families suffering. Mtetezi speaks directly for the thousands of families living in fear as their loved ones face daily danger. Many households have no reliable means of verifying the safety of relatives, forced to depend on social media posts, rumors, and unverified messages. Parents, spouses, and siblings endure relentless anxiety, sleepless nights, and mental torment, while the government continues to issue a vague advisories instead of decisive action. This lack of transparency and accountability intensifies the suffering of families who trusted the government's earlier assurances and now face helplessness as a consequence of state inaction. Economic impact. The conflict in the Middle East is already wreaking havoc on Kenya's economy, compounding the human toll with financial consequences. Kenya's reliance on the exclusive government-to-government oil agreements with Gulf suppliers has exposed the country to future price shocks and supply instability. Exports of tea, flowers, etc. are being disrupted as shipping routes are rerouted or closed, threatening billions of shillings in revenue, endangering farmers, exporters, and employees across multiple sectors. While the government has issued general assurances of stability, there are no concrete measures in place to protect citizens, stabilize energy prices, or safeguard key exports. The contrast between earlier promotion of overseas employment and the absence of protective action now is stark, exposing the nation to both human and economic vulnerability. Call to action and ultimatum. Mtetezi demands that the government, 1, immediately launch a fully coordinated government-funded evacuation of all Kenyans stranded in conflict zones. 2, establish verified communication channels and 24/7 emergency support to ensure families can track and assist their loved ones. 3, implement urgent economic measures to mitigate disruptions to oil imports, trade flows, and remittances. We therefore give the government 72 hours to act. If there is no decisive, tangible response, Mtetezi will organize a mass demonstration to the Ministries of Labor and Foreign Affairs, demanding accountability, protection, and immediate action. The government's time for advisories and empty assurances is over. Citizens' lives, families' peace of mind, and stability of the economy cannot wait. The statement must now honor its responsibilities or face public accountability through civic action. Thank you.
Thank you to the members of the office.
The borders. These people are going through JKIA. They are not sneaking out. And actually the government mobilized them in a program they call Kazi Maju. It was a government policy. And even in these briefcase companies, if you have a policy, you must have an exit strategy in case something goes wrong. So if they had a Kazi Maju to take people to the Gulf, they must, unless they didn't think through, they must also have, how do we bring these people back if it doesn't work out? So the issue of there's an illegal, what are they called? Agencies taking people. Actually, that's their job to make sure there's no, what can we do as citizens? We pay them taxes so that they ensure that everybody that goes mature goes in a proper way so that they can be brought back. And lastly, on the issue of the illegal agencies, I think that's another issue that actually you shouldn't be using it to justify. You should actually be answering why they allowed illegal agencies to take Kenyans to mature.